to a brand new episode of the Riff Rundown. Hope this is finding you and yours doing well this weekend. My name is Petrilli, here with my friends at Fishman for a brand new episode of the Riff Rundown. Gotta say, this is one of my favorite songs of the early 2000s. We're gonna be learning Like a Stone, the acoustic version, by Audioslave. So Chris Cornell would often play Like a Stone on the acoustic guitar. I figured it'd be kind of a fun way to play it today. So have your acoustic guitar in standard tuning for today's lesson. As always, if you're enjoying these lessons I do here on YouTube, please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It really does help me out. And if you want to check out all the cool Fishman gear that I use in these lessons, including the RS Spectrum DI, I encourage you, please check out the link in the video description below to learn more on what Fishman is working on. And many of you ask how you can support me for these lessons that I do here on YouTube. I have a Bandcamp with original music, and I have a Patreon page, and it's just so much fun hanging out with you guys there. So I encourage you, if you want to learn more, check out those links down below as well. Okay, so before we get started, I like to ask questions, so please do let me know where you are tuning in from and your favorite super group. Put in the comments, I want to know. Here's Like a Stone Acoustic by Audioslave. So let's get to it. Some really cool, very friendly beginner chords for this song today. So really fun one. What's cool about this, intro and the verses have the same exact chords. So let's go ahead and get to it. So the chords that we're gonna have at the top, it's gonna be A minor, G, E minor 7 to F, okay? So what we've got here, those of you who don't know how to play an A minor, I'll show you how to do that. So how we're gonna get there, first 3 fingers, okay? We're gonna place our first finger on the first fret of that B string, okay? That note is gonna be C. From there, get our second finger on the second fret of the D string. That note is gonna be E. And then our third finger is going to play A, second fret of the G string. So the tonal centers for this chord are A, C, and E, the 1, flat 3, 5. That's what builds our minor chord. So strum from the A string downward. Okay, just like that. So there's our A minor. From there, we're gonna go to G. Now, when Chris Cornell played this acoustically, he used all 4 fingers to play this chord, so that's how we're gonna do it too. So 4 fingers, first finger on B, second fret of the A string, our second finger on the third fret of the E string, that is G, third finger on the D note, third fret of the B string, and then pinky finger on G, third fret of the high E string. Strum all 6 strings. Just like that. So G, B, and D are our tonal centers here, okay? From there, we're gonna play an E minor 7. So I really like how Chris Cornell played this chord, is that he left that high E string open. just like that. Really pretty way to play this chord. So how we're gonna do this is we're gonna get our first finger on B, second fret of the A string, second finger on the E note, second fret of the D string, and then our pinky finger is going to play D, the third fret of the B string. You're gonna strum all 6 strings again. So just like that. Now the tonal centers for E minor 7, it's gonna be E, G, B, 1, flat 3, 5, and then our flat 7 is that D note. Now, the final chord in this progression is going to be an F chord. Now, I want you to play a bar chord here. It has so much power and so much depth, and that's the version I want you to play. That's the version that Chris does when he played the song too. Okay, so what we're going to do here, first finger, I want you to place that across all 6 strings at the first fret. Now, again, tonal centers, keep them in mind for F major, F, A, and C. So, first finger, okay, tip of that first finger should be on the F, okay? And notice my thumb. It's being placed at the back of the neck. I don't want the thumb too high. The hand is going to shrivel up, and that we don't want. So, third finger to complete this chord, place that on C, third fret, the A string, okay? Pinky finger plays another F. That's the third fret of the D string. And then our second finger, place that on A, second fret of the G string, and I want you to strum all 6 strings. Yeah, that's kind of saying those words really fast. They kind of jumble together, don't they? So that's F, F, A, and C, tonal centers. Just like that, okay? So this is going to repeat twice for that intro, and it's going to sound like this, and then I'll hum it along. I'll do one pass without the humming, and then I'll do one without, so you can hear how this goes. Okay, so here we go, nice and slowly. A minor, G, E minor 7 to F. Let's do this, nice and slow. Okay, so, and I notice here too, if you wanted to keep a pivot point with your third finger from G to E minor 7, you can totally do that too. Just watching Chris, he tended to use that pinky finger. So if you want to play it like Chris Cornell, use the pinky finger. If you want to maintain that pivot finger with the third finger on that B string, go ahead and play that switch like that. Just something in a side, just to throw that in there. Again, I plant the seeds with these lessons, something to think about, all right? So what I'll do next, same chord progression is in the verse, so I'll hum along the verse. So let's play through that intro again. Let's play through it twice, and then I'll come in with some verses. So here we go. Intro at the top, G major. One more time. Verses, same chords. On a cobweb afternoon in a room full of emptiness by freeway, I confess I was lost in the pages. So that's your verse, same as the intro. Really cool stuff. So that's going to go through 4 times for the verse, same 4 chords. Pretty cool. So from there, we're going to go to a chorus. So what's happening here, and I'll give you kind of a run through before we get to the chords, before we play them rather. A minor, C, G to A minor, okay? Those we're going to play twice, okay? We're going to run through those 2 times. From there, we're going to go to F major to A minor, G, back to A minor, and then we go from F, A minor to E major. So let's look at the top of the chorus here. A minor we already know. And now we're going to go to C. So again, utilizing the pivot points and tonal centers that are in common between chords. This is something that's really cool. So my beginners who are watching, check out this trick. This is really nice. So we've got A minor, A, C, and E are the tonal centers. Now C is the next chord. C, E, and G are the tonal centers of this chord. So A minor and C share 2 notes in common, C and E. So check this out. Going from A minor to C, all we're going to do, this A note that we're playing with our third finger on the second fret of that G string, we're going to move it to then play C. So notice how I kept my first finger and second finger exactly where they were, because those two chords, A minor and C, share those two notes, okay? Love pivot points. So A minor to C. From there, we're going to go to G, and then back to A minor. Okay? So with some strumming, let's do that again. And we'll do it with some lyrics. In your house, I long to be, room by room, patiently. Pretty neat, right? So that's what's happening there for that first part of the chorus. Now, the next series of chords, let's do these next 4 chords. It's going to be F major, you guessed it, I want the bar chord version, that's what Chris did. Back to A minor, to G, and then to A minor. Okay, so just like that. So let's go ahead and play that. Let's play that again. F, A minor, G, A minor. Now with some lyrics, 1, 2, 3. I wait for you there like a stone. Okay. From there, the next 3 chords, F, A minor, and E. So my beginners who are watching, cool trick here. We know F, we've played this before. A minor we've played before. Now we're gonna go to E major. So this is a new chord in this song. Check this out. So it's a nice little trick. So we have A minor, it looks like this, okay? First finger, second finger, third finger. On the first fret of the B string, second fret of the D string, second fret of the G string, right? So play that A minor. Cool trick. Spider crawl each of these fingers up 1 string, meaning that finger that's on the second fret of the D string, move it up to the second fret of the A string. Finger that's on the second fret of the G string, move that up to the second fret of the D string. And now this first finger that's on the first fret of the B string, move it up to the first fret of the G string. So see, nice little switch. E major and A minor here have the same shape, they're just on different strings. Okay, so we're going from A, C, and E, okay, tonal centers of A minor, to E, G sharp, and B, tonal centers of E major. Okay, pretty neat stuff. So we have F, A minor, to E major. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to run through all of the chords and then I'll do a pass with some lyrics. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, chorus. F. Then we go to that intro again. We're going to repeat that twice. So with some chorus lyrics, 1, 2, 3, 4. In your house, I long to be, room by room, patiently. I Intro, A minor, G, E minor 7, F. Okay, that repeats twice, same exact chords for verse 2, and then after verse 2, we go into chorus number 2. Same exact chords, not really changing anything, all right? So that's what's going on there. Really great stuff. This is such a fun one. Again, one of my favorite songs from the early 2000s. When I first heard it, I was just, it hit me like a ton of bricks. Oh, the song was just so great. So what we've got is the bridge that's coming up next. So what I'll do is I'm gonna go ahead and play it and then I'll talk you through it. So here's the top of the bridge. I'm gonna play the whole thing. Here we go. F major. And leaning back into that final chorus. So some chords we know and some chords we don't, but I'm gonna show you how to play them. It's gonna be great. So we've got the top of the bridge, F major, play the bar chord. Then we're gonna play C. And now we're gonna play E7. So my beginners here, how I want you to get there, it's kind of cool. So play the E major shape. All you're gonna do is lift that third finger out of the way. So what this does is E major by itself is 3 notes, E, G sharp, and B. When we play an E7, that note is a 4-note chord, meaning that we need to add one more, right? So in this case, it's the flat 7, which is a D note, which is why when we lift that third finger out of the way, there's that D note there. And that's the chord we are looking for when we're playing this, okay? So we have F, C, E7, then back to F. So let's look at those 4 chords together. F, C, E7, back to F. Okay, some really good switching between bar chords and open chords in this song. Really, really fun one. So here we go. From F, top of the bridge. Now, probably my favorite chord, the entire song, is coming up next. It's gonna be an F minor. So, a little bit of theory here. I think this is massively helpful in understanding the chords that we play, right? F. The tonal centers here are F, A, and C, the 1, 3, 5. Okay, so 1, 3, 5 are the building blocks to make a major chord. When we go to a minor chord, the building blocks change slightly, meaning that the third becomes a flat third. So it's 1, flat 3 to 5. Okay? So in this case, the third of F is A, and that's where our second finger is right here in this bar chord, okay? To make it F minor, all we're gonna do, lift. So that A, by lifting, becomes an A flat. We are playing this note with the bar here at the first fret of the G string. Just like that. So make sure you get that second finger out of the way so we get that really impactful movement between those 2 chords, okay? Really, really great stuff. So we're going from that F to F minor, and now we have a D major that shows up here in this chord. So D, F sharp, and A are the tonal centers of this chord. First 3 fingers. First finger on A, second fret of the G string, second finger, second fret of the E string, F sharp, and third finger on D, third fret of the B string. Strum from the D string downward. Okay, just like that. From there, we're going to go back to E major, and then A minor is next. So remember how earlier I had you guys do the spider crawl up? This time I want you to go back down. So there's E major, spider crawl each of those fingers down to play A minor. Okay, so just like that. I know that's a lot of chords. Let's just play through the first half of it. We'll get to the second half in a moment. So top of the bridge, just the chords, and then I'll hum through it. okay? So top of the chord, or the top of the bridge with the lyrics. 1, 2, 3, 4. On a red till the day was gone, and I sat in regret of all the things I've done. Okay, just like that. Now, second half of this bridge, we're gonna go back to that F chord, back to C, back to E7, back to F, F minor, to D, and instead of doing E to A minor, we're gonna do 2 measures of E and let that build. Okay, and that's what's going on there. So pretty much the same thing, the A minor, we substitute for an additional measure of E major, okay? So that's what's going on there. So let's go ahead and play through it, and then I'll sing through some of it so you guys get the idea of the bridge. So here we go. This is the second half of the bridge, starting at F. Into that final chorus. All right, so here we go, some context with a little vocal. 1, 2, 3, 4. On a red till the day was gone, and I sat in regret of all the things I've done for all that I blessed. Into the chorus. In your house, longing to be. I wait for you there. So for that final chorus, what we did there is we did a few extra measures of E major at the very end, and then we ended with a nice strong F major chord to close out the song. So that's the entire song. Really, really beautiful interpretation acoustically. I just love it. It's such a fun song to play. So what we'll do now is we're gonna go through all of the parts, okay? We're gonna play them together and play a little faster. I think we've all got the hang of this. And again, if you're enjoying this lesson, please be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, click the thumbs up button, share this video with a friend who loves Audioslave, Chris Cornell, Soundgarden, and all that good stuff. Again, this is a great song. I always try and think of songs that are going to be really beneficial for the building of technique and of theory and understanding why the notes work in the songs that are in the chords that we play and that sort of thing. And again, thinking about chord switches as a choreography and noticing, oh yeah, A minor and C have similar notes. So why lift up those fingers when I'm just gonna move, you know, why lift them up? They share the same notes. So stuff like that. I want you thinking critically and asking questions. It's always good to do that. We are perpetual students, including myself. I am a student of this craft and I'm learning more every single day. So it's good to stay curious. So let's go ahead from the very, very top. I will call out the parts and let's have some fun. So here we go. I'm gonna bump up the speed a little bit. So here we go. Intro. Repeat that. Verse on a cobweb, afternoon in a room full of emptiness. Here comes the chorus. Intro 2 times. And here's another verse. Deathbed, I will pray to the gods and the angels. To a place I recall, this so long ago. Chorus again. In your house, I long to be. I wait for you there, like a stone. Here comes the bridge, F bar chord, here we go. Long red, till the day was gone, and I sat in regret of all the things I've done. And then into that final chorus, okay? Good stuff. Such a fun song. Really, really fun one to play. And again, some really great techniques, even though the chords are very, very simple, but it's just a great, great song to play. So lots of good stuff in here. So as always, wishing you all so much success on your musical journeys. Remember, you can't play anything fast, you can't play slow. So take your time. If things feel a little bit challenging, it's good. It means we're learning, right? So take your time. Can't play anything fast, you can't play slow. Really think about the choreography between those chords and the switches and all of that good stuff. It takes time, but know I'm rooting for you. Okay, I'm rooting for you. So again, if you're enjoying the lessons, please be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Really does help me out. And oh yeah, those of you in the Bay Area of California, I will be playing October 30th, 2025 at the Sound Room. It's going to be a blast, full band show with my buddy Jules and his awesome band. So yeah, ticket links down below too if you want to check that out. As always, I want to thank my friends at Fishman for helping me do these lessons week after week. We are approaching 5 years of the Riff Rundown. Wouldn't happen if it wasn't for each and every one of you. So thank you all so much for tuning in, for playing along with me, and for sharing these videos with the friends. Really beautiful community we built here, and I thank you so very, very much. As always, wishing you much success. Play lots of music this weekend, folks, and I'll see you at the next lesson. Take care.